What's up everybody, Wyvern here. I'm coming to you today with my footage from the Nightmare Cup. I know it's coming a little bit late. I'm sorry I wasn't able to get this out sooner, but my tournament wasn't until the 29th itself. So even if I had edited this and put it out that very night, I still don't think it would have been very much use to people, but regardless, I hope people enjoy it. I hope it's a nice little break from all the Rainbow Cup overflow we've been getting. Don't get me wrong, I'm ready for Rainbow Cup as well, but there's just been so much coverage of it. It'll be nice to take a step back and kind of see how I did in this cup. I had a great time doing it, so I hope you guys enjoy this video, and let's hop right into it. So looking at this first team, I see right away that he has 3 Dark-type Pokemon in Skuntank, Tyranitar, and Shiftry. Not only that, he does not have a Confusion user either. Exatu is likely going to be running the Flying Fast move, and Alolan Raichu will almost certainly be running Spark. So seeing those 3 Dark-type Pokemon, I assume I'm safe to lead with a Fighting type and run 2 Fighting types. I know running no Confusion user, I'm absolutely safe to run Toxicroak, so I'm going to lead with Lucario here, assuming that he does lead with a Dark type. And then we'll bring Toxicroak as well, and then we'll just round off the team with Hypno. So let's see how this match goes. So like I said, I'm going to lead with Lucario here, assuming that he leads with a Dark type, and he does with that Skuntank. So my goal here is to simply spam as many power-up punches as I'm able to. You see Counter definitely dealing some good damage to Skuntank there, and we're going to get our charge move off first. Oh no, I forget, I used this matchup as an energy farm. In theory, in hindsight, I probably should have used a power-up punch to try and burn some shields, try and up some attack. And here you see I am going to go for that power-up punch after I take that crunch, even though it doesn't do that much, which is why I don't shield it. And now I'm going to go for the second power-up punch to try and shield bait him. I probably should have just energy farmed there, but we do still get that shield out of him, and now our counters are super buffed. He's going to sub the Skuntank, come in with Toxicroak, and I still feel comfortable to go at this one with Lucario just because I have the attack and the energy charged up. So we're going to hit it with a power-up punch, and it is going to finish us off first, but not without dealing a good bit of damage to it. We're going to come in with the, I forget what it is, Toxicroak. Yep, that's right. Because I know he has Skuntank left for certain, so I know Toxicroak will do good against that. Hypno, on the other hand, was a bit slower, and since we didn't really need to feint that Toxicroak, we didn't need the Confusion. And here we see him bring Shiftry last, so he does go double Dark type as I anticipated, and with Sludge Bomb we're able to finish off the Shiftry. Moving on to the second matchup, right away I see that he does run the typical 2 Psychic, 2 Fighting, 2 Dark type Pokemon. However, Heracross and Skuntank are a bit new for me. Obviously, we saw Skuntank in that first matchup, but it's still not as common in this meta, as well as Heracross as well. So I'm not really sure how to take this approach. I'm going to lead with Umbreon just because of what Matty F Baby talked about, and watching his video, how well he did doing that. I figure it's a safe lead here. I forget what else I chose, so let's dive on into the video footage from this match and see what else we used on our team. I apologize for any background noise as well. My main filming area that I'm going to be using in Minnesota this summer is fairly close to a road and the forest, so you're going to be hearing some birds, and you're going to be hearing some cars, but it's outdoors, it's nice, so that's what we got. So right away, I see Umbreon is going to be a fantastic matchup against Hypno. It is a tanky Pokemon, but we still see that fast attack dealing some good damage to it. He's going to force a sub, which will allow us to bring in our Hypno, and essentially just straight up delete his Toxicroak while building up some good energy in the process. We're not going to shield here just because Hypno's a tank and nothing it's going to throw at us is going to be super effective. Even though Sludge Bomb does deal a good bit of damage, we're able to finish off that Toxicroak. And he's going to come in with an Umbreon. So we're going to try and charge up to that Focus Blast. I'm hoping he doesn't shield this one. Looking back on it, I probably should have shield baited with the Shadow Ball. We do have to shield the Foul Play here. But you'll see in a second here, he's actually not going to shield the Focus Blast. So with Umbreon being a very tanky Pokemon, it's nice to do a massive chunk of damage to it. We are going to lose the Hypno in this matchup, but like I said, we did quite a bit of damage to Umbreon and used the Hypno to defeat the Toxicroak, so overall he served his purpose. We're going to come in with Toxicroak now, try and finish off this Umbreon, and we do, but not before he gets off another Foul Play. And I talked to him after the matchup. We were actually both running one move Umbreon, so that was kind of funny there. We both had, well, he had Foul Play, I had Dark Pulse, but we both only had one move on it. Neither of us were able to get that last resort. Mine was $14.99, and I heard how well it worked for Matty F Baby, so I couldn't not run it. And honestly, not having last resort didn't matter for me. hardly at all. There's maybe 1 or 2 times I would have used it, but by and large, Umbreon was borderline MVP for me. And see here, we're going to shield this move just because we're both in our last Pokemon. So we're able to take, I know we could have taken a Shadow Ball, but I'm going to shield it just in case it's a Focus Blast. And we're just going to go ahead and finish him with fast moves. And that will be that match. On to Game 3. So Game 3 here was against Laser Brian. This was my first and only loss of the Nightmare Cup. Laser Brian was the victor of the Minneapolis Regional Tournament, so congrats to him on that, and congrats to him for winning this Nightmare Cup as well. But I see right away this is going to be a very tough match. All of his Pokemon are in the 1490s. He has a perfect Raticate and a darn near perfect Drapion, so I know this is going to be a tough matchup for me. So I'm going to lead with Umbreon a second time because it worked well for me in the first match. It's a fairly safe play, it's tanky, and unless he leads with a fighting type, it's a fairly safe play. I forget what my other 2 Pokemon are, just like in the last match. I'm shooting this, like I said, post-com, so let's jump into this match and see what the rest of our team is. This match did experience some lag as well. Had it been terrible lag, I would have asked to replay, shown him the footage of what happened and asked to replay, but I ended up losing the second match, and I still probably would have lost this first match, so I just straight up got outplayed. He's a very good player, very competitive, very strategic, so while I was obviously put out with a loss, even with the lag, I had no problem losing this match. I see right away he has this Drapion, so Infestation is going to be super effective on Umbreon. Thankfully, it's just a fast move, not a charge move. And we figure he is going to be spamming the Aqua Tail. And right about here, we start to see some of that lag take place. I'm tapping, and you can see the Dark Pulse animation, but we're not charging any energy or doing any damage. And this persists throughout this first matchup with Umbreon and Drapion. I'm not going to shield there just because Aqua Tail's not doing that much to us. And here we see again, I should have been able to get in one more fast move there, but was unable to since that lag happened. So we're not going to shield once more. We are able to start attacking again, so I'm going to shield just because I'm able to get off one more charge move, presuming I don't lag anymore. I see that I'm close to that charge move. So here's an instance. Had that lag not happened, I would have been able to get to that charge move first, get that charge move off, and not waste a shield there, just let Umbreon die. But instead, we have to burn a shield, so essentially the lag just cost us a shield. Now we're going to come in with Toxicroak, try and finish off this Drapion. Unfortunately, he is able to get one more Aqua Tail off because he was able to energy farm on the Umbreon at a little bit at the end there. But we are able to finish off the Drapion. Unfortunately, he's going to come in with his Confusion User, and I should have predicted that, gone for the Mud Bomb right away. Thankfully, though, we are able to get to Sludge Bomb, which does decent damage on Claydol, but by no means is the matchup we want. And then Claydol versus a Alolan Raichu, both people having one shield. This is essentially just a terrible matchup. It's going to resist all our electric damage from Alolan Raichu, as well as taking super effective damage from Earth Power. I go for Thunder Punch here, just try and get that shield out of him. Obviously, in a normal situation, I would have gone for Wild Charge, but he's going to get to that Earth Power first, and that's just going to be that match. We don't even get to see his third Pokemon, so good game to Laser Brian, only loss of the Nightmare Cup. And of course, it wouldn't be one of my videos if I didn't forget to record every single game in an entire match, which is exactly what happened with Nova Nation 1313. I went 2-0 against him, but considering it was his first ever tournament, he went 3-2, which is better than I did in my first tournament, so a winning record in a fairly competitive scene is not too bad at all, so kudos to you. Thank you for coming out, and I hope to see you at future tournaments. He ran a fairly meta team here. Hitmonchan was one I didn't see a ton of, nor was Spiritomb, actually. Although it was ranked very highly in the meta, this was the only one I played against. I forget how these matches went, what the Pokemon were, aside from the fact that he did use Spiritomb, I remember, and I led with Umbreon both matches. Like I said, I went 2-0. I apologize for missing this footage, but I'll try and do better on that in the future. Let's hop over to the last match of the night. Looking at the last match of the night, I see right away he has 3 Psychic types, and 2 Pokemon in the 1460s, and no prominent fighting type within the meta. So I know this is going to be a very interesting match. Seeing that he has 2 water types in Slowbro and Slowking, I decide to lead with Alolan Raichu. I try and mix it up a little bit. I know he'll be a fairly safe play against Blaziken and Alolan Muck as well. If I'm in a bad matchup, I can always switch. I am going to bring Umbreon as well, just because he does have those 3 Psychic types if Alolan doesn't work out. I have my Dark type user in the back. And then lastly, I'm going to bring the staple of Toxicroak. He should be able to sort out the Tyranitar, Blaziken, and Alolan Muck. Gosh, I forgot names for a second. Been playing Pokemon 10 years, can't figure out what a Tyranitar is. The struggle is real, guys, but with that Mud Bomb, he is going to be able to take out all 3 of those Pokemon. So let's dive on into this last match of the night and see how we did. This was my only time leading with Alolan Raichu all night, and I think only my 2nd time using it. I used it because I had a fairly good CP Alolan Raichu, but mostly just because of that Stardust cost on that 2nd move. 10,000 Stardust for a 2nd move is incredibly baller. Here I go for the Thunder Punch before I see the switch, but I'm going to switch immediately after that, deal some good damage to that Alolan Muck, and then we'll bring in Toxicroak and Energy Farm a little bit here. I believe he is able to get off a charge move. No, he's not. That's right. I see that he's running Bite. So I know I'm going to take some damage, but I'm safe to Energy Farm. I'm not going to take a charge move. And here I go for the Sludge Bomb immediately, expecting him to bring in a Slowbro or Slowking. It is a Claydol, but regardless, it is that Confusion user we were looking for. So it's just going to essentially delete us. We do, however, have the Umbreon, so that's able to come in and take care of that Claydol. I almost called it Spiritomb. There we go again. Good work, everybody. We are going to let this one get through just because Umbreon is very bulky, and Earth Power doesn't do that much damage to it. We're going to go for the Dark Pulse here, just try and burn some shields on him. I know this is one we could Energy Farm, but already having him beat down the Alolan Muck, I really don't need to Energy Farm at this point. We are down our Toxicroak, but we're up 2 shields to 0 at this point, so I feel pretty good about this matchup. We are going to let this Earth Power get through as well, just save those shields for the back end of the matchup. That one does do a little bit more, you'll see, since our defense was lowered. So at this point, I am going to go ahead and go for the Dark Pulse. I'm starting to get a little bit worried about Umbreon's health, and I'm just going to try and finish off that Claydol. Now, he does come in with the Blaziken, which is able to finish off the Umbreon. However, we have the 2 shields, and I know that this is going to be a fairly safe matchup for me. So I'm able to shield this Blast Burn here, and we're just going to go ahead and go for that Wild Charge. I don't know if Thunder Punch will finish it off or not. So I'm just going to be safe, go for the move that deals a lot more damage, and that's going to seal this last matchup for us. So my only loss all tournament was to Laser Brian. Like I said, he was a very good player, very strategic and very competitive. I don't look forward to playing him again, but I probably will at some point, so we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. Congrats again for winning the tournament. I don't know who Tentacool15 is. Having just moved up here, I'm not very familiar with this PvP scene, so I'm hoping I'm able to play them sometime in the future, but I will easily take a 3rd place win. I'm very pleased with that. For me, that's a win. I have yet to win a cup, but I'm still very pleased with top 3. I'm pleased with 4-1. I almost doubled my global player ranking from 5,000 back into the top 2,500 from 10% to 5%, so I will take everything I can get at this point. I'm hoping to pick up my first win with Rainbow Cup, and I'm also hoping to make my first time 2 cups in a month with Rainbow Cup. So we're going to try and make that work. June's a busy month, but I think I should be able to swing that for you guys. But thank you so much for checking out the video. I hope you enjoyed this Nightmare Cup footage, even if it was a little bit late. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to like and subscribe. I know it sounds pitiful, but we're almost to 30 subscribers, which a month ago we were at about 9. So we've almost tripled that, more than tripled that actually. And it's all because of you guys, and I'm looking to continue growing this channel over the summer and throughout the next several months, years. Hopefully it takes off. But until next time, guys, I'm Wyvern. I'll see you guys in the next video.